So anyway, Kim, any comments before we turn it over to Jim?
No, I want to, Jim, you said as we ended that segment, so this is what investors need to know. So what do investors need to do, excuse me, to prepare? What can they do? The good news and the bad news.
Yeah, one thing, this whole Wall Street 401k IRA structure has been geared to kind of drive people into the stock market. Now, there's a place for stocks in your portfolio. I'm not saying dump all your stocks, but there's a world of investments out there. You have stocks, bonds, but also commodities, currencies, alternatives, silver, gold, real estate, fine art, the natural resources. There's a whole world of investments. And most investors don't even think about all those other things. They're not always easy to put into a 401k, but you can do it, if you talk to your plan sponsor. But so many people, they're just offered a choice of, five index funds and 2 money market funds, and that's their 401k. And, I have obviously gold in my portfolio. I keep it around 10%. I mean, some people are 50%. That's up to them. I don't tell people what to do, but to me, 10% is a good allocation. And people say to me, well, Jim, that seems risky. How do you sleep at night with 10% of gold? And I say, how do you sleep at night with 90% in equities? I mean, that's a lot scarier than having a slice of gold. I would lighten up on the equity side. Again, don't go into a bunker, don't sell all your stocks, but lighten up. Maybe go to cash. Certainly gold has a place. If you don't have any gold, there's a place for 10% gold, and that could include gold mining shares. That's a really difficult area because gold mining shares will outperform gold in both directions, by the way, up and down. But where gold is in an upward trend right now, there's no doubt about that. Gold mining shares will outperform gold, but they're not all created what gold is. I mean, gold is an element, atomic number 79. Gold mining shares, you really got to look closely at the management of the company. That's the differentiator. Some of these guys are brilliant. They've done it before. They have track records. They're on the right track. Others are, candidly, some of them are frauds. So how do you sort that out? Well, maybe a good, gold fund managed by an established company where they're going to do all the hard work for you. All the selection is a way to go. So there's a place for that. I also recommend big allocations to cash. And as much as 30%. And people say, well, Jim, cash has no yield. Well, actually, it could be your best performing asset in the year ahead. And here's the reason. We may be looking at deflation, not inflation. Everyone's worried about inflation. We haven't seen inflation in 12 years, or actually longer. Probably you got to go back to the early 80s before we had serious inflation. And with the Fed, the Fed has taken its balance sheet from $800 billion in 2008 to $7.5 trillion today. And most people say, all that money printing, you're going to get inflation. No, money printing has nothing to do with inflation. Inflation comes from velocity. It's the turnover of money. You take $7 trillion of Fed money. How much is 7 trillion times zero? It's zero. Zero is the velocity. It's the turnover of money that gets you the inflation. If you don't have velocity, you don't have inflation. Actually, you don't have an economy. Velocity has been dropping like a rock for 22 years. It's not a 2008 thing. It's not a 2020 thing. Yes, that did take it lower. It's been going down for 22 years. And that's why the Fed money printing has not turned into inflation. It could at some point. I don't rule it out. But deflation is a bigger problem. Well, guess what? Deflation means the value of your cash goes up. You don't have a big yield on it, but it has more purchasing power because the price of everything else is coming down. So if you have, say, 2% deflation, the real return on cash is 2% because even at the same nominal amount, it's worth more. So cash also reduces volatility. So a slice of gold, a big hunk of cash, reduce your equity exposure. In real estate, it's really interesting because you guys are the real estate experts, among other things, but most people, and it's usually correct, that residential real estate and commercial real estate tend to move up and down together because they're driven by the same factors: expanding economy, low interest rates, et cetera. That is not true today. Commercial real estate is collapsing and it's going to get worse. Residential real estate is soaring in certain areas. And I hate to use cliches, but we all know location, location, location. So there is a serious mass exodus, and I'm talking millions of people leaving New York, Chicago, Baltimore, Seattle, Portland, and California. Our friend Elon Musk just checked out. Where are they going? They're going to Phoenix, Scottsdale, Miami, Florida, Texas, some of the Rocky Mountain states, Salt Lake City, Colorado. These places are booming. So if you can get in on residential real estate, and it's kind of hard to do as an individual, but there's some well-managed funds out there. Mortgage rates are near all-time lows, but there's a housing shortage, believe it or not. And I'm talking middle to higher end housing, with the good school districts and the low taxes and all the things you want. So commercial real estate has not hit bottom. I wouldn't touch it for another year or more, but residential real estate is red hot.